hit people one at a time.
Probably. What up?
Welcome to Park City. This is how we do it here. We're in this place is beautiful.
It's pretty nice, yeah.
Got the whole valley. I'm referring to Park City as the valley.
The greater Park City area.
The greater Park City area. That to me is Park City.
Okay, yeah.
What does Christmas mean to you? What is Park City to you?
Yeah. I mean, to me, iconic Park City is Main Street Park City.
Okay. And which we're gonna hit up at camp
Yeah, like 2-3 times.
easily.
We're gonna go have coffee there too.
Ride through, storm through it.
Storm through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to leave it there? I can't hear.
We could do that.
Yep.
Or
Put
take
it there.
out.
It's okay.
We're gonna admit, guys. Part of me is I don't look because I have to admit people because I set this one up wrong. Mute all current individuals. Yeah, perfect. That's even better.
There we go. Look at
Chuck, I see Chuck's on. He's probably it's late where he is, but he's got a race coming up. Let's go, Chuck.
Let's go.
Um,
Oh yeah. So Park City area. Pretty decent sized valley. Obviously you got the mountains because they ski here. You got Deer Valley, you got Park City, you got
Bald Mountain. You have the canyons.
Yeah, there you
It's
go.
now Park City Mountain Resort too. It's
Oh,
one-
really?
Yeah, it's just one now.
okay. Today we were up on top of Park City, Deer Valley.
Kind of both.
Yep, we're on the top, near where the gondola and the bunch of lifts kick out. But there's also a climb with a road that takes you to just as high.
Yeah.
And just kind of giving ourselves a preview of what's to come for the week.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're not here, missing out because we want you here and it's ridiculous. Ridiculously nice place to be and hang out. A better thing than the place
People
are the people.
The company.
There you go.
It's like you read my mind.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, if you guys want to come hang out with us at camps, we actually have some 2025 camps on the docket already. We've got a swim and ski.
yeah, Trayley signed up for it already. Let's go.
AM, let's go.
Yeah.
Got swim and ski. Got Shula. Shula's already up.
No, it's not up for people to register, but we know when it is.
Yep, we got secrets.
Yeah.
So,
What's up, Chris? Yeah.
and actually, let's kick off there with camps. We went and did I've been to Park City before hosting as a
Camp. You're a special guest.
special guest at a camp, but the previous camp, the one that we just hosted, Mallorca.
Yeah.
How was it, Daniel?
Unlike anything we've ever done before.
Yep.
It's the best way to put it. If you've never ridden your bike outside of the United States,
Right.
it is a completely different and wonderful experience. Mallorca is unlike anything I've ever seen. I've been there before, but it's a lot like riding on Zwift
Correct.
in terms of the amount of cyclists and people you see. And it's a lot like riding in heaven, whatever denomination you believe in. Otherwise, there is no terrain like it that I've ever seen. And I've ridden all over southern France. I've ridden all over Italy. I've ridden everywhere. It is just phenomenal. Like kind of like a mix of like European switchbacks and rides,
Yep.
with like Big Sur type vibes to not Kona Coast, Kanapali Coast, the one,
Oh, sure.
the long hike one.
Yep.
It had everything.
Yeah, it did. I think one of the things that made it unique was it wasn't quite. It was probably 500 to 1. 500 cyclists for every one car.
Yeah, easily.
Maybe not that, maybe 300 to 1.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was ridiculous.
no, it's 500.
It was like you're riding in Zwift, but in real life.
So nothing like Zwift.
Yeah, so basically nothing like Zwift.
Yeah.
There was one segment, a Strava segment that has 146,000 unique riders. And yeah, so we hit that up. It was pretty special. I think the riding was special. We had a pool at where we stayed.
And that was fantastic.
It was.
Except
You had to
when
reserve it.
yeah, except when we got the reservation issues with the Germans. Not saying
This lane's reserved.
yeah, not saying they were not nice, but they weren't nice. It's cool though. All right, so we got a lot of people racing this week. We got Chris racing.
Yep.
We got a lot of people racing. You're going to be in Placid in 2 weeks.
Correct.
Ryan, who just joined, he's going to be there too,
Awesome.
which is super sick. So be on the lookout for the AP Racing Special at Lake Placid. We're going to set it up. Should be awesome. What do we want to talk about today?
So today, like we want to jump off and like have a target, and that is strength training. We just launched an AP Racing,
Get some strength training group.
So what we'd like to do with this group is kind of explain the structure. And I know we've talked in the past with a big piece of strength training for endurance racing is it sometimes gets confused for complementary work when it should be supplementary work.
Yes.
Right? It should no.
Yeah, that's right. No, we think people think it's supplementary and it should be complementary.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it should complement your training. So what's that ultimately mean? Strength training for us means that you're doing things that you aren't doing on a regular basis. This repetitive movement pattern motion needs to be put to the side because you do so much of that in swimming, biking, and running. What we're really trying to target is the all or nothing firing principle and the size principle behind lifting. And what's the size principle? The size principle dictates that the muscle won't fire unless it's necessary for it to be engaged. So what you see is if I can lift this weight with only small muscle fibers, size of muscle fibers in slow twitch, then that's all your body is going to do. But if you have enough load and enough resistance on the bar, on the in your hands, then the size principle comes into play and you start recruiting type 2A muscle fibers, and then you start fatiguing bigger muscles, and then that kind of gets a little bit of a transfer process, and it makes them engageable during a ride or a run. Or a swim. So
the key word you used was recruit. We talk about recruiting different muscles all the time. A big thing for a long time was how do you recruit your glutes for riding or for running, right?
Yeah.
And how do you recruit enough muscles to go faster, right? Well, like Andy said, you can't just do that by doing things that are small muscle or small muscle. Did I do that?
Small muscle fiber.
Small muscle fiber, same
Yep.
for me. And things that are weight bearing or just like on the bike. There's only so much you can
resistance.
Do. You need more load to be able to stimulate a response to be able to recruit more.
Correct. And sometimes you can find that, and you have to be creative when you're on the bike. Let's say the bike for an example. You have to like increase the gradient of a hill, and then you also have to self-select into a really demanding gear ratio that recruits a bigger muscle fiber and really tries to like kind of grind you up and slow you down. But even then,
it's not the same because you're still doing that for minutes at a time.
Correct.
And that's not what you're looking for. So like when you lift in this program, a lot of lifting, how many reps and what type of stuff?
Yeah, that's in reps. The way that we're going to structure this program is it's going to be a full cycle. It's going to take you all the way through a triathlon season. And like when are we working on hypertrophy? What is hypertrophy? You may ask. It's muscle growth. Okay. And when are we working on strength? When are we working on like strength endurance? That's another aspect of it. When are we working on power? So there's a time and a place to work on different aspects of your energy systems and your muscles. And this program that we've come up with parcels things out not only in the proper sets and reps ratios, but also the right time of year. So we're not lifting 3 times a week with a championship race like that week. It will be appropriate, and it'll be appropriate in terms of sets and reps and the target that we're working on.
So take a step back for a second.
Yep.
Like we're just not two guys that like to ride bikes. We like to lift too. And we got little credentials here. Andy, besides being a great triathlete that knows everything, is a really smart dude. What certification do you have in strength training?
Oh, so what are my bona fides?
Yeah, bona fide.
Yeah, sure. I actually spent a lot of time this past year trying to learn all the different principles that are associated with strength training. And I went out and got a CSCS certification, which is the highest level of strength certification that you get through the NSCA, which is the National Strength and Conditioning Association in America. And it's a CSCS certification. I don't know. I read the same book 3 times, and it was 700 pages.
Yeah.
So that's 2,100 pages.
And Andy reads every word.
I read every word of every page.
Yeah.
Yep. No, very, very informative. It starts at the cellular level, and it builds you through it's starting from the basics of like what makes what is included in a muscle fiber, all the way through to sets and reps, through your diet, through like how to write a plan for. I mean, we went over how to write a plan for like an American football player, for a rugby player, for a tennis player, for a soccer player. They're all different because the requirements are different. And the main thing that we're trying to target with this strength training group is the specificity aspect of strength training. We don't want this to be the priority. The main thing has to continue to be the main thing for you, and that's swimming, biking, and running, and putting it all together on one single day to reach your full peak potential. But strength training can be a part of that.
Yeah.
It can be a part of that if it's applied in the right way.
Yeah.
And the specificity of the movements and the sets and reps and the timing, super important. And that's, I just spent months doing reviewing why are we doing it this way? How does it work? Explain it a little bit more, that kind of stuff.
And it was really interesting when Andy went through this, because I years ago, and I still have my NASM certification, and we would talk about things and he would say things, and it actually kept on circling back to conversations we've had for the past 10, 15 years. And a lot of what Andy was learning was validating what we already knew.
It was a lot of validation.
A lot of validation. And then like, oh, this is why I've been doing this.
Mm-hmm.
This is why you had me doing this. This is why he had me doing this. And then, oh, now I could take it here. And then this is how it applies to Chris and Chuck and all these other folks.
Yeah.
Because it's very common for endurance athletes to be like, all right, let's get some high reps in. Let's do some jazzercise stuff, like things like that. And it doesn't suit your goals.
Correct.
And so we've tried a lot of different things. This is our next iteration of it. Cool part is only $1 right now, so you should try. It's worth it if you got time. I think your time's worth more than $1. Ours definitely is. Maybe a little maybe. But hey, it doesn't hurt to try something new. Sometimes new is always better.
I'm new is always sometimes better.
Always, sometimes, maybe.
Yeah,
better.
I'm down with that. No, I do like the thought process behind it. In terms of like we always talk like some of the key messaging points that you're seeing out in the world right now is like find your why. Why is this here? And I think there's a lot of information at your fingertips, but it comes down to the application. Like it comes down to the doing. And this is a lot about what we preach is, listen, we can tell you, we can write the best set ever, but if you don't do it, like it's not the best set ever.
Yeah.
Maybe the best set ever is something that's a little bit like a couple iterations down from that, but there's full application, there's full buy-in, and you're not quite at the level for the best set ever for the best person ever.
Yeah, it's actually that's kind of interesting. I'm going to take us here for a
second. Love it.
So I was talking to a few different athletes this week about race plans. And if you're coached by us, you know we don't write your race plan. We'll help you fix it or review it and mold it. But we wrote race plans for years. And you know what happened when we wrote them? No one followed them. Because the best race plan for you is the one you're going to follow. Right? And we talk about it all the time. It's like, oh, At mile 17, I got to be running 6:18s. You get to mile 17, I can barely
That-
walk.
that-
Yeah. And so you got to adjust, you got to change, and you have to know what you have within you to be able to do it.
Yep.
Here's a question for you, though, because this came up. Would you ever in a race create a prescribed workout instead of the race plan? Like, hey, I need 250 watts for this section, like 10 minutes on, a minute off, 2 minutes on, a minute off. Would you ever do anything like that?
Ultimately, yes. I think I do probably a version of that, maybe every race. I do a lot of this is just like that.
Okay.
And so you need to expose yourself to different stimulus on a consistent basis. So you have a lot of things to fall back into when this is just like that.
Yeah.
Whether it's like 12 minutes on, 2 minutes off. Well, this hill is going to take me 12 minutes
Yeah,
to climb.
but sorry to cut you
Yeah,
off
yeah, go
because
ahead.
I want to be clear about this.
Okay.
You're not saying going in, I'm 12 on, 2 off, I'm 10 on, I'm 1 off. You're saying, all right, I'm going now. This is what the race demands. This is like 12 on, 2 off. So that's what I'm kind of going to do.
Yes.
Yes. Because if you were to set your watch and be like, oh, every 12, I'm going to take 2 off, you might be in the middle of the hill.
Oh, no, that doesn't work.
Yeah, you might be going through, or like the race might be going up the road.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay.
Or you're on you're on
See
your you're on your on, right?
Yeah.
You're hitting it. And then but the race dictates that everybody's off.
Yeah.
And then but you're hitting it. Then what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're just giving away free stuff and everybody's jumping on your wheel
Or it's
your
downhill, or you have a
shoulder.
tailwind.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and everybody's just taking advantage of you, or they're shaking their head, going, "Wow, I thought you were smarter than that."
Yeah.
So this is another thing. Like, this kind of bothers me a little bit. Like you ever have someone tell you, like, "Oh, that person's really smart."
Yeah.
Oh, so and so is super smart. So and so's kid is really smart.
Yeah.
Really,
My kid's super advanced.
they're really smart, huh? Is that why they're suspended for 7 days from school?
This sounds personal.
No, or that athlete's super smart. Oh, is that why they went to the front on a downhill with a tailwind
Yeah.
and didn't get away?
Yeah.
Or, oh, we're closing the gap to this is one of my more favorite stories. So like I was in this race and there was a guy who was up the road. He had caught 3 minutes and we were putting 30 seconds a mile into him. So I knew at mile 6, he's gonna be caught. Or at mile 2, we knew we were eating 30 seconds in. He was 3 minutes up. And so I was like, okay, math says we're gonna catch him at mile, even if he starts to come good or I start to falter. In between 8 and 9,
He's there.
I caught you, I spit you out the back, and now this is the front.
Yeah.
So I remember someone getting really nervous and he got super nervous and he hit the gas. And I'm like, what are you doing? You went to Stanford.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be smart, bro. He just raced dumb. I caught him with a mile to go. Well, we caught and spit out Andy like at right when I thought we were going to.
Yeah.
And then I caught Jesse with a mile to go, and Jesse was cooked. And I was like, I'm coming good, bro.
Yeah.
You should have just sat on me, but I'm gonna break your heart now, brother. Yeah. And so like you're always trying to and what does this where'd that tangent come from? So being smart and doing smart things are not the same thing. I've always taught from my parents, like smart is an action, smart is a doing, smart is a being, it's nothing passive.
Yeah.
It's not just something that like is bestowed upon you. It's something that you work with and you work towards. So with that being a smart athlete and that intelligence is in the doing.
Yeah.
I think that answers your question on like the application of when to do a workout within a race, when to apply this is just like that.
Yep.
It is through the doing, through the action, through the exposure, through the experience. And it doesn't matter how many times you're going to hear it from us. You have to go out and do and experience it. And so it gets internalized. And so maybe there is no short circuit in the brain.
Yeah, no, agreed 100%. I mean, it's funny. This came up because athlete I was talking to said the workouts are a lot like the racing.
Oh, what?
Weird how that works, huh? Yeah, super weird how that works.
Wait,
So,
you're preparing to race?
and you're doing workouts that are a
That
lot like
prepare you to race?
yeah, it's crazy.
No, they don't.
I thought it was just
I'm
magically
gonna
happen.
take away your license,
Oh my
Daniel.
God, no good, no good.
What?
All right, all
That's
right.
totally what we're doing.
That's what we're doing. All right, we had some questions on our
Love it.
so let's just go to that real quick.
Yep.
And in our Facebook group. But if you out there right now have questions, just chat them up or just unmute yourself and scream them because that would be awesome. Don't scream. Just speak nicely. Wait, was it?
We have chat.
Speak softly but carry a big stick.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
Theo Roosevelt.
Yeah, Theo. That's a bee. I'm allergic to bees. Okay. That was like out of a movie. All right. So, all right,
I'll go to chat box.
there it's right there. Oh no, it's not. Hold on. Let's see. We got nothing in chat box.
Okay, nothing in chat box.
I don't think so. Maybe.
Don't know how to work a chat box.
Yeah, it's cool. All right, so here's one for you. Tire pressure recommendations. That's a good one. It really depends on your weight, the road surface conditions,
Yeah. There's a website.
type of tires. Yeah, there is a website. We'll send it out so you have it. But
Silka.
yeah. Oh, there you go. Silka's website.
Yep.
You can do a combination of if you're using a tube or not, tubeless, tubular, all the good stuff.
Wheel sizes,
Conditions. Yeah.
conditions, road condition, like
Yeah.
what shape is the road in,
Yeah.
your weight
But
when you're on a bike.
in
fully loaded?
in super general sense, if you're riding tubeless,
Tubeless.
around 90, give or take some, usually lower 80. A little more. Okay, whatever, bro. I'm not rolling my tire.
Tubeless, you can run. I mean, like if you're depending on your weight, like I weigh, call it 180 pounds. If I were riding tubeless, I'd be ride in between 75 and 80. And that's my weight. So it is weight dependent, and road surface dependent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people in this group can get away with 65 to 75.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You
ride.
typically ride it like 55 to 60.
Nah.
I've seen how soft your tires are.
What are you saying, bro?
So like you like a softer, more supple tire.
Maybe.
And you're like, yeah, I don't need to pump it up. I'm good.
Oh, I never pump it up when we're training. It just takes time. I got to get on the road and get
That's a softer tire.
action in the doing, learning in the doing.
That's a softer
Yeah,
tire.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, yeah.
When I race a little higher though. But so yeah, Ryan posted the site, and you could just punch in all your
So-
stuff, rock and roll. All right. Paul's got a good question.
Okay.
Getting tight, super tight, borderline cramping later on in the run. Is that a sign of electrolyte loss, running above LT, or maybe a lack of strength, running fitness? Yes. No.
All of the above.
Yes. It could. Yes.
Yeah, I think that you're really extending your capacity, and that's where like things get really stretched in terms of like what's happening inside yourself. So when you're really pushing what you're training like what you've trained towards exposure wise in terms of distance, duration, and intensity, that's usually that fine line. You're on the edge of like what you've prepared for.
Yeah.
And if you go over, you're just on the edge. Your body's going to talk to you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna mess this up, so maybe you can help
Yeah.
clarify. But like, when you look at like cramping, especially with you talk about electrolyte loss, you brought up, it's actually about the ratio of like sodium to something in your blood and like in your body. I don't know what it is.
Potassium.
Maybe I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll let you know. But
So there was this white paper published a little while ago talking about cramping. And we used to assume that it was always about the electrolyte
Yes,
imbalance. And it's becoming more and more apparent that you can, just like your mind is trainable and your muscles are trainable and your gut is trainable. Well, so is your ability to transport nutrients to every recess that's saying, hey, we need more, we need more. So cramping is more likely than not to be a cause of you're at the edge of what your preparation has prepared you for.
Yeah. That's why we do a lot of over distance work.
Yeah.
Plain
Yep.
simple.
And that's also why you'll see sometimes when we talk about rides, and we'll mostly do like a ride for time. But if we notice that some of those timed rides just aren't producing the enough kilojoule burn, we'll say, hey, okay, we're going to move away from the hour marks and we're going to start to focus a little bit more on the metric of kilojoules. And that will actually be a little bit more, there's that word again, specific towards what's being asked of you during a race.
Yep.
And then therefore, when you get into the race, you've already had the exposure, and you can that line that you've been training towards, you can race just under it, and you don't have to go above to find out.
Right. Next one, and this is all about the same thing, like symptoms and things, right? And Scott, you kind of answer this question yourself. What are the signs, symptoms? It is time to start leaving the wetsuit at home and swim in the skin. Everyone's temp tolerances vary. I think you just answered it. Everyone's temps and tolerances vary. But like, how do you know you're overheating? You could feel it. You might be steamy a little bit. Like you might like what is it? You get headaches. Even.
Yeah.
It's totally a personal call.
I think it's here's my biggest recommendation with this specific problem, but it could be applied to other areas, and that is wait to see. In the moment, you're going to feel certain things, and I would just say wait to give a referendum on yourself, and wait to pass judgment on either the workout, or yourself and your abilities. Don't judge it in the moment, because sometimes like your emotions or your sleep, and there are other active factors. So what I would recommend is saying, hey, listen, do like, let's say go work out in a wetsuit, and you're wondering, is this too much? You do the whole workout as much as you wanted to in the wetsuit. Then if 2 hours later, you're still like unnecessarily sweating and still trying to dissipate the heat that you created, it was too hot. So go through the moment, be in the moment, and do the thing, and then reserve judgment till after.
Yeah.
Specifically in training.
Yes.
So then you get the lesson, you learn the lesson through the experience. Again, coming up again, is that experience factor. Then you can reflect on it.
Yeah.
And then judge.
That's really good advice.
Right. So you don't give yourself an out, and you're honest with yourself with your effort, and then measure the symptoms an hour after, 2 hours after, the next day. Did you have a really poor night? Were you still sweating at sleep? Yeah, you overcooked it. Or could you not warm up again? Did it take too much energy for thermal regulation to get back to warm? Then you wore a skin, then you need a wetsuit.
Yeah.
Because the demand was too high.
Yeah, that's really good advice, because it could be swimming, like we're talking about wetsuits, or biking, and you're like, I'm tired today before you even started, or this is really hard. And you start going up this climb, and you're like, this is too much. I can't do it.
Oh, we hear that all the time.
Yeah. No, just settle in, take a deep breath, let it work itself out. And what do? You get back to homeostasis. Not the right way to use that word, but you know what I mean.
and I think, I don't know if we have it out here, but it is part of that mentality that we came up with. Give me 5.
Yeah.
Wait. Give me 5 reps. Give me 5 minutes. Give me 5 hours.
Yeah.
Give me 5. And just wait to judge yourself and just see how it goes.
Yeah.
Don't be so reactionary in the moment.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, it's going so bad. It's so bad. Yeah.
And this works beyond the sport of triathlon as well.
Yeah.
It's a really nice mental framework to conduct other endeavors, whether that's driving a car or going to work or
Yeah.
whatever.
All right, couple other quick questions.
Yeah.
From Chris, Tri-Bike Transport's no longer. Any new transport that you know of? Don't really race enough to buy a case. Tri-Bike Transport's actually coming back. You see, they're
Yeah.
coming back under a different name. There's a lot that's gonna come to light that's gonna be good for them, and you're gonna realize a little bit more of what was going on. They'll be coming back. As of right now, there are a few independent companies. Your best bet, at least my gut reaction, because I don't do this at all, is what are you gonna say?
I would say the best bet right now when it comes to specific races is the race website. They will tell you who they have partnered with for bike transport for that specific race. I know Alcatraz had a specific
They use Taylor?
well,
Well,
what's his called?
I forget.
But
But
I'm blanking on the name. I apologize.
but the other thing you can do
But
is
Tri Bike Transport is they're like our go-to. So I'm not gonna.
there are peeps. The
Yeah.
other thing you can do though is you go use bike flights. All right. And so you go get a box, you pack up your bike, you use bike flights. You can like game bike flights a little bit to make it a little cheaper. Depending how you put in your measurements and everything, and you just ship it to where you're going. It'll work fairly well. If I come out others, I'll let you. And I don't have a prescription sunglass recommendation for you, Chris, but I'll look around. We'll figure it out. But yeah. And then
I mean, they do them.
yeah, everyone does them.
Oh, everyone does them.
More or less.
So when comes time, this could be an old thought. Maybe in 2024 things are different, and chime in if you know the difference. But a single lens is harder to put a prescription in than two lenses. And that maybe technology has gotten better and they can do a single frame lens, but oftentimes prescription you have different strengths in different eyes. Even in the snow industry sports, those goggles, like ski goggles, the prescriptions are harder to get that full lens.
Yeah.
Do you see them in what you do?
No, it's so in like snow goggles in particular, it's two separate. It's an insert that you put in. So yeah. Only other question I saw was, are we doing? Is it like a logistical one? Are we doing championship kits this year? We are not, and let me explain why. We don't want to have kit fatigue. We've made 4 different kits this year. It's a lot. It's a lot of money to spend for you guys. And we're actually typically we keep our kit designs for 2 years. So you don't have to spend much with a light modification. We're actually going to modify our kit a lot for next year, or enough, because we got this really cool thing we're going to do, and it'll make everyone really stand out on the race course. You know, everyone is. So
we've gotten feedback from this year's kit, which
Yeah.
I really like.
yeah, so I love it.
And
we have 4,
but
so it's a lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
And normally we didn't allow people that don't come to camp to get our camp kits. We opened that up this year for everyone too. So hopefully you got enough cool AP gear. If you want some more run stuff, Precio site. Yeah.
Precio will have on demand.
Yeah.
So that they've been a really nice partner
Yep.
to work with. Yep.
I don't have any other questions on our end. Trailer, you got one for us? Like, come on. I'm gonna keep you on your toes here. No, we're just doing a good job. All right. So the key takeaways today: strength training, complimentary, not supplementary.
And like, honestly, if you're on this call, why can I'm not trying to be a shill here. Can you give me a good reason why you don't do it? Besides, like, I don't have time. Give me a good reason why you wouldn't sign up, why you wouldn't at least look.
Yeah.
Can you honestly?
I have my own strength training program I use already.
Is it meeting all of your needs?
No.
Give us a chance.
Okay.
That was actually a really good reason.
Yeah.
But
Stumped him.
but like I really believe in what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably my answer coming back to it.
Yeah.
I believe in what we're doing.
All right.
I know that the program that we're putting together seamlessly syncs into what we're trying to build in swimming, biking, and running.
Yeah.
It's not it's not a My right hand doesn't know what my left hand is doing.
Yeah.
This is all like to help you move forward together, because the main thing is, like pursuing your goals and your dreams, and this works seamlessly with it. So
Yeah.
even if you have your own personal strength trainer, like I would look into it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So complementary, got supplementary strength training. Right hand needs to know what the left hand's doing. Red Bull here, Red Bull here. Go.
Double Red Bull.
Let's go. Next. Majorca camp was sick.
My camp was
And you
really
should
good.
be super jealous you weren't there.
We did try it new this year. Like we went outside. We've gone outside the US before. People ask us all the time, "Hey, when are you going to do one in Europe? When are you going?" We did one in South America. We did one. You missed it.
Boo.
It was really good. It was a nice opportunity to see something that was just a little bit different, and probably my number one takeaway from the camp in Mallorca was, hey, look, other people really love what I love too.
Yeah.
I'm not in a silo doing my thing here in my small town. I do fit in with
Bigger community.
a huge, huge community. We just happen to all be sharing it right now at the
Yeah.
same time, on the same hour, on the same effort, on the same hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I had a different
Oh,
takeaway.
that was probably my best takeaway. Was like, man, I knew I liked this. I didn't realize so many other people would really, really like this too.
So my takeaway is a little different.
Okay.
Super like one of these.
Oh, good,
like,
good job.
conceited a little bit too.
Okay.
Not really, just confident. Is a lot of people put on camps and they put on good ones.
Oh.
Because I've been to other ones too.
Oh yeah, I go
But
with you.
no camp I've ever been to is better than ours.
No,
I'm just gonna throw that out there. I don't care. I will say it. I will go to the grave with it.
cool with that. Reason being is because we've tried other camps.
Lots of them.
We've seen what else is out there. We know that not only is the education piece associated with our camp, the experiential piece. So like it's in the doing in every camp. The uniqueness, the energy that you bring.
Let's
That's
go.
I
hand slap.
I know a lot of other people in the sport have been in for a really long time, and they've done an awesome job, whether it's racing or building their own personal business. But I put us up against anybody, and it's almost like game over after day one.
Yeah. It's like showing up to Alcatraz trying to race Andy Potts. Let's go. It ain't happening. All right.
There you go.
And so we're about to kick off another camp. I mean,
Oh yeah, there you go.
we're in Park City. We're right at the base right now of the Olympic ski jumps. What year was Park City Olympics?
2002.
Yes, at the base of the 2002 Olympic ski jumps and the next 2034 Olympic Games too.
I think they got the bid. I'm not positive.
I think wait, no. It might be 28.
No,
It's 34. Because my girls were talking about it. How like
28's LA.
oh yeah.
Summer.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Around there.
30.
Ryan,
I think it's 30.
I wanted to bring my board. He asked to go hit the jumps and the airbags, and I left it in a garage I couldn't get into. But I might borrow one while I'm here from someone I know.
And take it down the bobsled track, which is right there.
Yeah.
Daniel, I'll get a video of it.
Okay.
He's gonna take his snowboard down the bobsled track.
Send it to the internet.
Setting a new world record.
That'd be kind of sick.
You would go so fast.
Yeah.
You would die.
Yeah, I would.
You know, Daniel, speaking of snowboarding, as a plug to your guys' swim ski camp, that was pretty awesome. And anybody I've told about that, they're like, that sounds epic. So I'll plug that one for you guys. It was definitely worth it being able to swim and ski for the 4 days that we did.
And you're already signed up for next year. I think we have an extra day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we have like all these other activities we have that like, you remember you went to the ice maze? That was kind of sick.
Yeah.
This is going to be blow that out of the water. We're still going to do something like that, but this is going to blow it out of the water. And yeah, that was a really fun camp. I enjoyed that one. That was a good one. And yeah, we're doing it again. Do you know that one's already 3/4 filled? It's the only one we had open, and it was only for veterans.
Mhm.
People that went before were 3/4 filled. So
Good luck.
yeah, good luck getting in. It's a tough one.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, that's what we got. No other questions. We're gonna go get ready for Park City Camp. We got 6 days of Grindtown, USA. Population 20. Let's go. All right.
Okay. Sounds good. Sign up for strength training if you get the opportunity to. It's just a click away. If you don't like it, like, what's the harm here?
Yeah.
I promise you will.
Yeah. It's like ice cream. Everyone likes it.
Yeah.
You just might like different flavors of it. That's pretty good. All right. Guys, have fun. Good luck to everyone racing this
Yeah.
weekend.
Good luck.
Good
Those
luck
of you
ev-
in Placid, I'll see you there next week.
Yep. Look out for notes about things we're going to do together. It's going to be great. All right. Have fun. The beauty is in the doing. Twos.
Cheers.